So thank you for that always wonderful introduction. So you may have noticed that I asked that we kind of switch things around this morning, specifically because I got this idea from Adam, and it was like really great timing that he happened to be talking about it today. And this is kind of my MVP for going merrily, is the Horizons workshop, because I was so excited and like blown away by the effect that originally when Adam had been telling us about Horizons, how that affected Campfire and the way that we just, after months and months of not understanding where to start, finally had clarity and like a direction to go. And I feel this happens quite often with a lot of us, where we hit like a point of like, we've just been working so hard, and we're like, what's the next best step, right? So thank you so much, Adam, for kind of like leading into what I want to talk about today. So I basically turned Horizons into a workshop for anyone who is struggling specifically with task management and project management as well. So again, you can increase your effectiveness and take the guesswork out of task management. Oh, that one. Okay. So we make this mistake a lot of the times. I've seen many of us do this now that I'm more involved in the startup community even, that when we start our business, we set business goals, but we don't set lifestyle goals. And that's a huge mistake, because as entrepreneurs, we left behind the corporate world or working for someone else because we wanted the freedom to be able to work in the way that best suited our lifestyle. And so if we build a business that doesn't include our lifestyle goals, we just basically screwed ourselves out of that opportunity. Or we're going to get so far into our business and realize, holy crap, what am I doing? This is terrible. Like, why did I even do this? And I'm making no money. So if you feel like all of these things, if you feel like you're just constantly working and not really getting anywhere, you're missing out on like life in general, like your friends and family are like, are you alive? Like, I haven't seen you in 3 days. Are you okay in there? And you're just getting frustrated with the fact that you're putting all this effort in, but it doesn't feel like you're hitting the goals that you thought you set out for when you started your business. So I had this revelation a few weeks ago about, I really hate the whole work-life balance. I don't like the word balance. It's not something that is ever achievable, because you will never be able to give 100% of your time to both your business and your personal life. You don't have two of you. You cannot split yourself in two. You will always have your attention on one thing if you're devoting 100% of it. Or it's going to be divided, and you're going to constantly be at war with yourself of where you're at. You're either at the dinner table thinking about all the emails you're not answering, or you're in a meeting thinking about your kid's baseball game that you're missing right now, right? So this is where we have all this tension when it comes to being a business owner. And especially if you're a parent, this is something that, yes, I mean, hanging out with our friends and family is important too, but as a parent, that like tears you apart to have that feeling every day of being divided. But the good news is I can help you. Yay. So the Horizons Workshop aligns your projects and your tasks to your business and lifestyle goals. And the way that I do this is with a workshop. It takes anywhere, I have it set to 2 hours right now, but it can take up to like 1 to 3 to 4. I don't try to stretch it more than 3 hours. Stephanie and I did like a 4-hour session a couple weeks ago, and we both felt like dying afterwards. So the human attention span is just not meant to go that long, especially on it. It's very like focused, studious, hard brain work that when we do this. So how do we do this? So step 1, you need to write down your business and lifestyle goals. Most people don't take the time to physically write things down or type them. I'm all about saving paper and trees. Both though, the business and the lifestyle, and they should be measurable and trackable goals, because if you're not able to monitor how you're progressing in those, then it doesn't really help you in your business. You can't track how successful or unsuccessful you are. 2, get that shit out of your head. If it's in your head, 1, you will never be able to teach someone what it is that you do in an efficient way so that they can then take over tasks that you don't want to be doing anymore. 2, it's a mind F for you to have all of that going on in your brain all the time. And that's why you have those tension moments, because you're constantly trying to battle. Your brain is like multitasking in the truest sense that you can have multitasking, of constantly switching between all the things that you're supposed to be doing, but you're not in that exact moment because you can only devote 100% of your focus to one thing at a time. So if you write those things down, that's going to help already immediately lower the stress that you're having just thinking about all those things. Number 3, you got to make it visual. As humans, it's way easier for us to just write it on a sticky note and stick it on a wall. Keith, look how much you love writing on the walls. We know this, right? It helps you to get the big picture, but you can also then show other people the things that are happening in your head so that you can get feedback and opinions. If you are going to tell this to a customer and expect them to understand it, then you need to do some testing with other people to make sure the things that you're saying and thinking and doing as a solution to these problems make sense to other people too. But also, it just helps you in general to be able to organize yourself if you have it in a visual format. Number 4, you're going to organize all of these things that just came out of your head according to horizons, according to your goals. And now let me explain this a little bit. So now that you guys have an understanding of horizons and how that works for your business, right? 1, 2, 3. And I have to say, we've been doing it backwards. I was always sticking 3 as the idea tank. So now I'm gonna flip it.
It very well might have been that way. Okay. I was trying to find a product, I think
it's fine. It makes more sense to do it this way. It really does. So again, horizon 3 is going to be your goal at the end of things, of where you want to automate. So in essence of your business goals, you should hopefully know what is your front runner that you're currently taking through the steps of 1, 2, 3. And that's going to, stick in your horizon 3. Hopefully you're there. If you're not there, then we're going to evaluate where you're at in your horizons, and that's okay. We'll set your goals and horizons up accordingly to where you're at in your business. And then all these tasks and projects and like issues that you had in your head that you had written down on either stickies, or we can do this digitally too on a Miro board or something. We will attach those into the categories, into the horizons that they belong in. So if you have, let's say my Horizons workshop is in Horizon 2 right now, because I'm doing the very unfortunate thing of marketing a lot, which I also don't love. It's in Horizon 2, and my Horizon 3 is to do customer journey mapping workshops. So according to all of that information, one of the problems I'm having is I need to get more customers for my Horizon workshop. Okay, I attach that sticky note into Horizon 2. Horizon 2 has a specific amount of time attached to it that you're going to devote to your business. Horizon 3, which is something that you're automating, gets a smaller amount of your time than Horizon 2 because you're having to focus a large amount of time on marketing. So Horizon 1 is also not getting a lot of your time. That's your idea tank, and you just throw things in there and try them once in a while. That doesn't get a lot of your attention. Horizon 2 is your bigger focus. Knowing that helps me understand how tasks are going to work, correct? So step 5 is you're going to waste less time guessing on what to do and get back to doing the things that matter the most. A lot of the times, even if we have a task management system, we haven't taken the time to know or understand what's the most efficient way to get to those goals, and especially those lifestyle goals. And if we're not doing it efficiently, then we're wasting time that we could be spending on the things that do actually matter most. So I've found that this is like a super effective way I'm all about efficiency. I love efficiency, but also it's an effective way to spend your time and energy and figuring out how can I work smarter, not harder. So that's really where this Horizon workshop came in, because I myself have gone through this cycle of how do I get to the end goal as quickly as possible, as efficiently as possible, without having to sacrifice my livelihood, my life, my time with my son. And sometimes that means he comes to work with me and plays video games while I talk. But a lot of the times that means that I set boundaries for myself, and I work towards those boundaries by being efficient in my business and knowing what tasks that I have to work on and shutting it off so that I can devote 100% of my attention where it deserves to be next with my family. So if you're interested, this is kind of my MVP that I'm running right now. Keith, I would love to take you on. You can book a session with the QR code directly on my Calendly link. Otherwise, if you're looking for more info, I've got a little bit more on goingmerrily.com now. And also, I'd just love to chat with anyone on feedback, on questions you might have, that things like how the process goes. But essentially, we just book a session, we sit down, we hash it out for 2 hours, and hopefully you have more clarity at the end of it. And if you don't, maybe we'll take another look at it because you have too much in your head and it takes more than 2 hours. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, this is awesome. Well done. We got the mic. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
You're good.
So this exact topic, like being a fellow coach, is one of the things. I had a coach say to me one time, when I quit my job and left like my W-2 job, he said, you're gonna do something and it's gonna feel like a divorce.
Yeah.
He's like, it's gonna feel like you're leaving a job and it's not a part of you. And you literally have to, exactly what you described, because so many entrepreneurs, they go in the direction of like they start a business and it's like that then consumes them all the time, where they've lost the vision of why they quit that job and what they're trying to build. So I appreciate this. This is awesome.
Because we are so passionate, right?
Yeah.
And excited, but then also the fear comes in that we're the only ones responsible for making sure that the bills are going to get paid now. And that's a lot of pressure. But again, you're going to fall into burnout, just like any other well-meaning person does. You're human, and you can only handle so much stress and pressure before you keep falling into the burnout mode. And this helps so that doesn't happen so often.
So this looks like an awesome tool. I look forward to being part of your MVP. And because I might be the oldest dude in this place, I'll add a couple things that arise from my experience that I'd like to try with you. First is, when we go through this, to me, I think there's a step missing, and the step is number 6, repeat.
Yes.
Because this is a cycle that needs to go on and on and on. And the other thing is, I think I want to try this process the first time with a coach, just you and me. The second time involving my family. The third time involving my closest circle of supporters. Because what I have realized in this process of becoming an entrepreneur is that I need to treat my family, my extended team, like a part of my business. And if they're not as excited about my why, and if they don't understand what it is I'm doing, and if they aren't bought in, I'm going to be continually derailed by my family's issues with my business. And that has happened to me. That happens to everybody, right? And one of the best ways I think we can address that as entrepreneurs and come to work-life integration in a healthy way, right, is by making sure that our family understands our story and that their goals and interests are built into our story. And because then that's their story too. And that way it's a lot easier when you got to go, hey, listen, this is a really important meeting coming up, and I'm going to need my family's help to figure out how to get through this, right? Okay, well, Dad, it'd be okay if you missed that game on Tuesday because it's not a big deal anyway. Awesome. You know, those kinds of conversations really help your business, and we forget to think about that because it does feel like, well, that's not relevant, right? But it's maybe the most relevant part of your success. Anyway, I think it's a great approach, and I look forward to working with you. Other questions?
I was just going to say, I've worked with Ashley, and the biggest thing kind of that she's helped me do is first figure out exactly the kind of customer that I want to have. because like as entrepreneurs, there's customers that we don't want to have. And she also really helped me, she really helped me figure out like, okay, like I'm doing like a rebrand right now. So I'm in Horizon 1. And I'm trying to work my way into Horizon 2, but I was immediately ready to like launch like 5 different things in Horizon 1, just because that's how I think I'm always coming up with new ideas. So she really helped me figure out, okay, where do I need to start? And then what should be my next goals after I do this rebrand. So it's been really helpful.
I'm glad. To your point, Keith, though, too, as an entrepreneur and as a parent, your family is your crew. I mean, they're in there with you in the thick of it. My husband watches our finances just as much as I do because my projections are his projections because it's our livelihood. And so it's good to do it by yourself first because you get a chance to self-decompress and get the things that you need to say out. And then, yes, you can do this multiple times with stakeholders because that's what they are. If you are a parent, especially, they are stakeholders. If you are a business owner with multiple partners, they are your stakeholders. And so it's good to do this session with them as well, but also to that point, repeating it when you have life changes. Going from having an 8-year-old to having a teenager is a completely different lifestyle. Having started a business, not being a parent, and becoming a parent is a whole different ballgame. And if you didn't reassess your goals between those 2 changes, you're going to have a shitstorm of conflict. So it's good to do this even at least yearly, if not at least when you have big lifestyle changes, because that will help you stay on track. Yeah, we can wrap it up. Yeah.